Hello and welcome to Strange Journeys. 8 minutes. 8 minutes. In the dense fog, the tugboat Mauvilla inadvertently turns away from the Mobile River and into Big Bayou Canot. Then, trying to slow its speed, it bumps into the CSX rail bridge, causing the bridge to dislodge and warp the rails. Had it broken them, a signal would have been sent closing the rail line. And then, 8 minutes later, the Amtrak Sunset Limited tried to cross the bridge, culminating in disaster. And things have not been quiet in the bayou since. Let's talk about that today. And we're going to highlight some upcoming haunted attractions for this Halloween. So, why don't we go ahead and get started?
Do you want to take a trip? With your Ghost Host Tom and Ghost Guy Tim. And the executive team, Andrea, Beth, Dagny, Donnie, Lewis, Lynn, Selena and Tom. Are you ready? Here we go.
And welcome back to Strange Journeys. I am Tom, your ghost host. And down below is Selena, one of the ETs. And over there somewhere is Beth, one of the ETs who has been the like an abandoned stepchild. We have not seen her in months. And she finally showed up with three big burly guys. What does that say?
Hey.
Well, that doesn't surprise me about Beth, okay? But anyway, we're going to be introducing all these folks later because we're going to be talking haunted attractions coming up in October. And these are two that are local to South Alabama and South Mississippi. We were supposed to have some on from Kansas, but they had a big storm blow through overnight and destroyed most of their attractions. So they're out busily repairing today. But first, we want to get some housekeeping out of the way. Remember, we provide these shows first and foremost for you, the watchers, for your entertainment. We are not by any means and do not claim to be experts or scholars in any of the topics that we cover. We're simply enthusiasts and storytellers who have fun with these topics while doing our best to respect individual beliefs. And please remember that this show is live and nothing is rehearsed or edited out later. What you see is what you get. And you can support us now if you would like. We'd certainly appreciate it. Patreon, PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App. Links are down below in the description. Now, Patreon is a monthly commitment. If you can do that, awesome. We've got a few of those, and that's amazing. If you can do that, we'd certainly appreciate it. But PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App are like throwing money in the tip jar. If you can tip us, we'd certainly appreciate that as well. And also, remember, if you are watching on YouTube,
click that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Like and subscribe to all these videos that Papa Tom made. Hit that notification bell up. My work here is done now.
So that was my grandson. What? Oh, Selena. What happened,
Yeah.
Selena? You disappeared on us.
I lost internet connection for a moment. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with this crazy computer.
It's the 21st century.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
True.
But yeah, that was my grandson first from a few years ago. And then just a few months ago, he said, Papa Tom, I got to redo the YouTube video for you. And I said, okay. So there you have it. You heard him. You heard what he said to do, right? Like and subscribe. And sign up for notifications. That way you know when we got another one of these videos coming up. Also, in the next few days, this show right here that you're watching now will be available on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Pandora, and iHeartRadio. And because of that, we're not showing as many pictures because most of those are audio-only platforms. And also on Spotify, you can leave us a message, just like you can on YouTube. But on Spotify, you get a little extra bonus where you can leave us a tip if you like. So we're fine with that. We won't argue with you at all if you would like to do that. So, and also look out for on Spotify. Look for the red question mark. When you see the red question mark, that's a little mini podcast that I've been doing called "What Do I Know," where I ask a strange question about whatever paranormal thing I'm thinking about, and it's just my random thoughts. Selena, have you checked any of those out yet?
Not yet. I plan
You're
to, though.
worthless.
Sorry.
You're, I mean, they're just like little 3 to 5 minute little things where I just
Okay.
say, "Well,
I'll
what
find.
about
I'll do it.
this?" Like one. This has come up in a couple of different shows. All right, we did a show on Gettysburg and the hauntings and ghosts there. People have seen entire regiments of ghosts. Okay, you've heard about that, right?
Hmm.
Well, is that really ghost? Because if it was ghosts, that must mean that they all died at the same time, correct? For them as a regiment marching, is that true? I mean, isn't that right? You were doing what you were doing when you died. But what about this? What if what we're seeing is a thin place between times and dimensions, and we're actually looking back into the past and
Yes.
seeing a regiment walking instead of
Why are
actual
ghosts
ghosts?
wearing clothes?
Yeah. Why are ghosts wearing clothes?
Exactly. I've asked the same question. So go back, look for the red question mark. I've even asked that question too. You know, um, like Elizabeth Parker mentioned one time. Well, maybe they just put on what you would recognize. Hey, Bill wore that green shirt all the time, so that's got to be Bill. Who knows? Okay.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Our last show was Route 66 Revisited. And Tim Shepard, my co-host, who is not here today, is actually working on a book called Route 66, Paranormal Route 66 or something like that. And he goes into all the strange and weird stuff that's found on Route 66. Now, last time we talked about possible time slips on Route 66. We talked about possible skinwalkers, the hellhounds, which there's a section in Arizona, isn't it? Yeah, I believe so. Where they did a little offshoot of Route 66 and they added the number 6 on it. So it ended up being Route 666. It's not that anymore, but it was at one time. And they've got a haunted truck that runs people off the road. Plays chicken with other vehicles. A girl in a white dress has been seen. And there's a thing called Satan's sedan that is seen on Route 666. Black sedan that appears to charge individuals driving in its way or walking in the way of the vehicle. So, excuse me, go back and check out Route 66 Revisited. Tim's got some awesome stories. And then, of course, I think it was 4 weeks before that we did Route 66. And then in between there, Selena and I did What Are We Dealing With? Where we went through a bunch of stories and asked questions. Is this a ghost? Is it a
Right.
fairy? Or is it something else? We did 10 stories and we asked those questions. That was pretty cool. Now, before we talk about the Sunset Limited train crash, we want to highlight some haunted attractions coming up this October. And to my left, you're right. And Beth, you can
Toby?
get everybody to introduce themselves, but this is Trail of Terror in Hurley, Mississippi. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
No, it's that way. It's that way for me. Yeah. Remember the Brady Bunch? It's kind of like the Brady Bunch. Everybody pointing at different things. All right. Everybody introduce yourself there in Hurley and tell us what's going on.
Well, my name is Robert Thomas. I'm the manager for the Trail of Terror. We've been doing it for 16 years. And on to my left is Matt. So he is one of our builders and our characters, should I say. Won't give out that character's name, but as big as he is, you can only imagine.
So he's a character,
and next to Matt, And Richard is pretty much what would you say, Richard?
Queue line director, entertainment for people while they're waiting in line.
That kind of guy.
movies.
Okay. Oh, let me
Yeah.
show this. So tell us
Hey,
about what
cool.
goes on there.
Tales. Cool.
Hey, that's us.
That's you. I stole that. Any good graphic artist worth his salt steals as much as he can.
That's right.
Wasn't it Milton Berle? Some of you too are young to remember this, but Milton Berle always said the best jokes are the stolen ones.
Mhm.
But go
this
ahead
is our-
and I also stole a
our-
video, so go ahead and tell us about what goes on there.
This is our 16th season, well, our 17th season that we've been doing.
Wow.
We're a nonprofit haunt. We have grown from a little bitty haunt to a very big haunt. We're pretty well known on the Gulf Coast here. So we put a lot of work. It's about a half a mile trail that you have to walk through, come to a house, and when you get to the house, things happen and you get a hayride back to your car. So I ain't I'm not saying what will happen on that hayride, but you got to find out yourself.
Yeah. All right.
But
well, what are the
that's-
what are some of the things that we would see?
well, things that you would see. Well, we have about 13 different scare stations with theme.
Mhm.
So you get to see Camp Crystal Lake.
Oh yeah.
So you get to see a cemetery. You get to see an old mining town with a saloon. Plenty of clowns.
Wait a minute. A saloon with actual spirits?
Yes. But we don't serve them. We don't serve those spirits. That's
They
for
just show up.
We usually need them after.
Yeah.
But we've got 8-foot stilt monsters. So I mean, we've got some really incredible characters. I really don't call ourselves a haunt, even though we're haunting. But
Yeah.
we're like a show. We're entertainers. We like to entertain our crowds. We've got about anywhere between 60 to 80 actors on hand.
Wow.
That you will be entertained by walk through. It is not like a Congo line that you go through. You are on a guided tour of what you will go through, and it usually takes about anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour to get to walk through.
Awesome. Well, what are some of the visitors' comments
Well, Richard, would you like to take
that
that
you
over,
can
sir?
actually share on air?
Well, I tell you what, I've got one to be. The guy was a review person of haunts. All right.
Mhm.
So he came in and he reviewed us. He didn't come and announced. He surprised us all. So he came in and he goes, the first thing he noticed about this place is that it was on Payne Road.
Payne
on a
Road. There
dead
you go.
street. So when he entered at the dead end street, he said he drove in and it was like he couldn't turn around, but it gave him the feel that he was supposed to get murdered. That was his exact word. So he wasn't expecting a outdoor haunt like us to perform like we do. So I mean, that
Nice.
was a big thing for us, for somebody to come out and review us unannounced and
Yes.
really put on a show.
Okay. All right. One final question. All right. How has it been? I mean, I asked this last time, working with Beth. Oh my God. I mean, you know, is she playing a witch over there or what is it?
I did last time.
Look, I am trying to get Beth. Come on, Beth. Come on. Look, I'm trying to get Beth here to act with us. I told her, I said, she could be anywhere she wants to be at.
Yeah.
But, you know, Beth is a busy person. So
Mhm.
I'm hoping that we'll get Beth back. We'll see. So, Beth, it's
If you let me play with snakes, yeah, I'll be back.
See,
Okay,
you're
there
on,
you go.
you're on
There you
live
go.
right now, Beth. You're on live right now, Beth. And it's being
Real,
recorded.
like real snakes.
Like reptiles.
yeah, like reptiles, snakes.
Well, bring
I'll
your little gator bring your little gator friend that you met down in Pascagoula.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. All right. Here we go. Hold on. Uh-oh. I told you I stole another one.
Yeah, you did. You did. Matter of fact, our we got a guy this year that does a lot of will be doing a lot of our videos for us this year.
Excellent.
And his name is Dylan Jolly, and he's been he's been part of the trail for a long time. Then he joined another hunt force in Florida, and he's traveled with and seen other Florida hunts all over across America. So he's pretty a big time hunter. So we're lucky to have him out. So he puts on a big show. The guy that you saw grabbing the camera, that's the guy that we got, and so we are looking forward to doing more videos and things like that out there. That's we're adding a lot of that to our Facebook page now.
Excellent. Well, I was going to say, feel free to post any of that in our Strange Friends group.
Absolutely.
You know, we've got over 600 people in there that enjoy that kind of freaky stuff.
That's us. That's us. We like it freaky.
Oh yeah, that's why it's called Strange Friends.
Mhm.
We have lost Becky and
Oh, no.
Lauren.
Oh,
We were just fixing to talk to them. Sent them a message asking if everything's okay. Let me try to text. Well, now I'm not getting it anyway.
So what days are y'all open?
we are opening October 7th, every Saturday in October. We're especially open on Friday the 13th this year.
There you go.
It got to be Friday
cool.
the 13th.
Exactly.
If it's Friday the 13th, you got to look for who? Jason.
Jason. That's right.
Kill. That's
That's-
it. So
You've
he's going to
actually-
be around.
You've got
We ain't
a
going to tell you where he's going to be at, but he's. Gonna
you've
be
got a
around.
little meme on your page about I stand with Jason Voorhees.
That's boy. You have done your research. Thank you. we definitely stand with him. You don't want to
There
be
you
down
go.
under with him.
No.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate y'all being on here with us.
Well, appreciate you having us.
Yeah, and anything y'all want to post on our page, you know, I think I have reshared a couple of times when y'all were doing casting calls. I don't know if you got any response from that, but you know, ever since we found out Beth was involved last year, we wanted to get on board and share, you know, at least help promote you guys.
Well, we do appreciate you very much.
Not a problem. This is awesome, and
Yeah.
y'all, if we can probably come back later on in October, maybe we can do a nighttime show closer into Halloween.
We would love
where
that.
Yeah,
We
where we
would love
actually we're live with you guys while it's going on.
That's
That
right.
would be
You'll be
awesome.
in character. You'll know what. You won't know who we are, but
There you go.
we would scare the pants off of you. That's for sure.
Well, it's a good thing I'm behind my desk with the camera up here then, you know, so we're good. You know, just like the newscaster sat up there in the suit and tie, but no breeches. So
Hey, that's-
Yeah. Oh please!
All
no,
right.
I didn't need that picture. Oh my God!
y'all started it.
There they are.
There
Yeah,
they
they're
are.
back. Okay.
Technical
Guys, have
difficulties.
great shows next month. I hope it goes awesome for you. And again, I'm going to extend this to Becky and Lauren, but later on in October, we'd like to do a nighttime show live from the attraction, from the Haunted Trail, the Trail of Terror and the Erie Acres. So we'll get to that later on in the month, and we'll try to set that up. Guys, y'all are welcome to stick around if you want to hear the rest of the show. But if you got to go, understand it's no big deal. But you are welcome to stay. We're going to go in and talk to Becky Thompson. How you doing?
I'm good.
Having
How are
some
you doing?
issues?
A little bit. We're working
Yeah.
on it. We're trying to work this out. But thanks for having
Okay.
us.
Well, I'm so glad you're here, and I wanted to show everyone how I found out about you. Where did I put that? Oh, it's up here. This is how I found out about you guys. I told them they caused me to almost have a wreck because I'm sitting there trying to take a picture of this car,
Thank
with all the
you.
information. And so I got on Facebook and found it under the city of Sims. So,
Awesome. Great job.
which I think I need to step back. I may have said this earlier, but the two attractions we're talking about today is Trail of Terror in Hurley and Erie Acres here in Sims. And we had some that were going to be with us from up in Kansas, but they weren't able to be there. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you saw this earlier, but while we were talking to Trail of Terror guys, this popped up. Somebody saying, "Hey, Miss Becky."
Hey guys.
And this is what they just came back and put. This her car.
That's my car. I'm
That's your
telling these
car.
kids down there.
There you go. So I thought that was awesome. I got in touch with the city of Sims. They gave me her number, and here we are. And
Awesome.
we want to talk about that. As you go into it, I wanted to bring this up that you sent me. It's kind of hard to see, so tell us a little bit about where you're found, the days and dates and prices and all that good stuff.
Okay. Well, we just run our trail 4 nights because we have 80 to 100 actors and they're all volunteers. So to have a good solid haunt and have actors just everywhere those nights, we only do it 4 nights, but we are a nonprofit. We support 3 charities. This year
Awesome.
we're doing Ring of Hope, Environmental Study Center, and Fostering the Coast. Our cost to get in is $15 for adults, $12 for children. And we
Nice.
have market vendors there. We have a food truck.
Oh, cool.
We have the tour guides, one in the front, one in the back, that walks them through because sometimes people go missing and we never see them again. So we had to get tour guides to kind of handle that problem. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's great. Our theme this year is creeping through the holidays. So we have all kind of like Day of the Dead and Krampus and Bloody
let me get back to there.
Valentine.
Oh, cool.
This is where you got some of the characters that's going to be showing up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They're all
Awesome.
going to be there.
Okay, and I found this. I got that off your TikTok. He wouldn't let me download the other one for some reason. It let me
Okay.
download that one. So I was
Yeah, we
trying
got
to
some
steal some
videos
more.
and stuff too. So if anybody wants to go to our public Facebook page, Creative
Yes.
Collective of Talents and Time, that is where you can see where we make our props. We work on it all year long. So you get to see the kids working on it, the adults working on it, and just see it come to life from the very beginning of prop making.
Okay.
We teach special effects classes for our volunteers in the off months, like January through April. We teach face painting, latex sculpting, application, gelatin. That's all free for our volunteers. We just hope that they use those talents with us later.
Yes. Okay. I was going to look it up and show the page. What's it called again? Creative Collection?
Creative Collective of Talents
Like
and
the
Time.
the board collective?
Exactly. My husband's a Trekkie, so I had to throw that
There
in
you
somewhere.
go. All right, here we go. Let me see here. There it is.
But yeah, these I've got the best volunteers in the world. They're awesome.
Awesome.
Oh,
Wow.
cool.
Look at that.
You can see
That's
kind of see our 12-foot witch there. That Joe Linda, she's on our board. She's awesome seamstress. She made that for that. She made stuff for our 12-foot skeletons and our werewolves, and we're working on the costume for our Stranger Things scene this year.
Nice. Nice.
Lots of talent in this group.
And all right, I was just going through the pictures showing all the different people involved,
Oh yeah, there's
the
a
different
ton.
work involved. That's
Yeah, they
awesome.
get volunteer hours for school doing this.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah,
Nice.
it's win-win. We just have a great time. We're like family,
Mm-hmm.
and the The fun part is though when all this comes together and you see these everybody's acting and people coming through having the best time and they're talking about it. It's awesome. It's just the greatest gift. It's a great part of this.
We are definitely going to check that out this year because it's right down the road from us. And we got another comment. Let's see here.
Come see us.
Uh-oh.
I'd love to
He
have
said,
you.
"There's me." Mr. Harmless said we showed a picture of him. Which one was that?
I don't know. I don't know that person.
Well, you got a picture of him on. You have a picture of him on because he's like, "There's me."
There's you. I just don't know under that name, I guess.
No, I guess not. Yeah. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, and remind everybody where it is again, down Schillinger's Road, Moffett.
Okay, off of Schillinger's Road, really close. I mean, we're not 2 miles from Walmart because everybody knows where Walmart is. But it's 8005 Morris Hill Road. And you will it's the same road that Municipal Park is on, which has a splash pad, but you go about halfway on the left and you'll see Driven Engineering, which is great. They sponsor that for us. And it's behind that. You'll park out front. It'll be obvious where to park. We have people out there to park in and to greet you. And then you just ease on up and the entertainment begins right in the line. We have entertainment right there in line for you. Yeah.
Perfect.
A lot of fun.
Perfect. It sounds like it. And so, folks, if you see something like this driving around town, don't wreck your car. Just get somebody else in the car with you to write down the information.
Yeah, hit it with your phone and screenshot it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You can do a screenshot right here.
That works.
Yeah. But we thank you so much for telling us all about this. When we were on the phone the other day, Lauren was filling us in on some haunted events at the History Museum downtown. What were some of the highlights of what has been seen there? Because let me preface this by saying, and I was telling them this the other day, when I was working on my tour downtown, I went by the History Museum to try to get some stories. And they directed me into the head of security, and he said, "We don't have ghosts here. This place is not haunted." But now, Lauren says otherwise. But hang on a second. Lynn says, where we went to see the movie. Yes, I think it's before that, though. We watched a movie down there one night for their Saturday night movie thing they did. Okay. But Mr. Harmless says, I know where that was taken. He said they were stuck in Mississippi. We thank you for commenting, but could you give us a little more information on who you are? Remember. But Lauren, what have you seen and experienced down at the History Museum in Mobile?
Well, this is all like hearsay, but well, in downtown where the museum is at, there's been stories like in the old, before it was a museum, it was an old market as well first, and then it became like a jail, police department jail area too, and then became a museum. But there has been shootings, like old Western kind of shootouts, where there was like a saloon area where someone died, and then there was a armory area where there was this kid playing with the armory, and he happened to kill him because the gun went off, which is sad. Wow. And there's other stuff in there. We have there is like these objects, or like 22 objects. Some of them, if there's anything like an object that's haunted, it's probably one of those, because we have like a baby casket and some like there's like, I've had a couple people come up to me and say they see like a black figure or like shadow around like this chair.
This
area.
Is the guest coming through?
Yeah, it's the guest. Like some of them are like, we don't like wanna think it's something, but it's like it's weird because we looked around the corner and there's nothing there, and there's nothing that was making a shadow that was us. And I was like, yeah, that is creepy. I'm not gonna walk back down. Like, I'm not gonna walk over there to figure it out. And then there's been some people that are like people that work there that have in the back seen like a lady walk by.
Was it an old lady?
It was a lady, and they said she was like in old-fashioned clothing with a ponytail, and it like freaked them out because they thought it was one of the workers from the fort, but it wasn't. And they were like, "Oh no!" and they just left Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not much at the fort mainly. There's no hauntings at the fort, but I know that there's some really scary stuff that's
Well, the
happened
fort's
recently.
been rebuilt though.
Yes, but I mean,
Yeah,
But
that's
it's
not the
scary to see.
original fort.
I
Is
mean,
it?
but the fort it like covered most of Mobile anyway, so it
Right.
would make sense if you see something that might have came from the fort a long time ago too.
Exactly.
True.
And you wouldn't really know because, like you said, the fort is only about a tenth the size of what it originally was. It covered most of downtown Mobile at one time. Well,
True.
Selena,
Mhm.
sounds like the History Museum would be a place to go, huh?
Oh, definitely.
For
Have
sure.
you heard any? Okay, he says, Brent, say hi. Is that clicking any?
You know when
Oh, I thought it said Brent. Say hi. I don't know who's Brent.
it's
Brent?
someone
That's
in
what
your
someone
group.
else.
It's
Oh,
someone in
okay.
your group, Mom. You're gonna.
Hey guys, we got that taken
Yeah.
care of. Here we go.
All right. Well, what I was saying, Selena, that sounds like a place that needs to be investigated, don't you think?
I agree. We should do that.
Yeah. All right.
That'd be
I'll have
interesting.
to.
Can I go? Can I like be there too?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I wanna,
Oh, yeah.
I want to be on that walk.
Well, I mean, honestly, I am not a big believer in big ghost hunts. And Selena can tell you, I've mentioned this before. I like 3, 4, maybe 5 people at the most. One, you have less contamination that way.
Mhm.
You know, I remember Selena was actually at the original ghost hunt at the Richards DAR house where they put down the marbles and told the spirits, if you can make the marbles move, we'll leave the marbles and you can keep them and play with them anytime you like. And guess what? The marbles moved. Selena was there and actually witnessed it. And when it happened, sometime later, I was with that same group down at a public ghost hunt again at Richards DAR house. So I took a bunch of marbles, put them out on a bed. I set up a camera on a tripod to catch any of the action, started the filming, walked out of the room, come back a little while later, and all the marbles were in disarray. And I was like, holy cow, it's happened again. And some guy standing there said, what? I said, the marbles, they've moved from where they were originally. He's like, oh, that? I moved the marbles. And I said, okay, you didn't see the camera sitting there on the marbles, you know? So anyway, I'd rather have just a few. I like the small teams when I do it, and it's
For sure.
been a while.
yeah.
Well, we was in
So,
Florida, like was it Hotel de Funiac, and we just happened to stay there that night, and they were doing one of those, things
Yeah.
where they go through the hotel and stuff, and they showed us on a staircase, and we were standing in a portal. It
Wow.
was very, like the hair on my neck was standing up and everything. It was crazy to see something like that
Yeah.
on their cameras, and here we are standing like in the midst of it.
And we stayed the night there, and I hated it.
Yeah, she won't
Ah.
ever stay there with me again. I don't know why.
Oh my goodness. Okay, this guy says he's going to text you, and they're going to go play a game. Okay,
Okay.
so you'll be getting a text.
I'll be looking forward to it.
Yeah. Yeah, Lynn reminded me the camera had shut down too, but I mean the guy had screwed everything up, our little experiment. So I was hoping we'd get the marbles to move again, but they didn't. Well, guys, thank y'all so much for being with us. And again, like I told the Trail of Terror folks, if y'all want to stick around with us and talk about the Amtrak Sunset Limited disaster, you're more than welcome to. Because at the end of it, we're going to talk about some little paranormal things that have been witnessed. And but anyway, tell us one more time the dates.
All right, it's October 26th, 27th, 28th, and 29th. We start selling tickets from 7 to 10:30.
Awesome.
Yeah, come on out.
Yeah.
We've got some great charities we're trying to raise money for this year.
There you go. So if you're watching or listening on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, any of those, come out to Sims, Alabama, and check it out. If you're in the Hurley, Mississippi area, Upper Bluesdale, check out Trail of Terror too. While you're at it, you can check out both of these because if you're in the southeast Mississippi or southwest Alabama area, you can hit both of them. It'll
I'm
be
going
awesome.
to Hurley. That sounds great. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, may have to get a bus from Sims.
Yeah, we could go back
Take a
and
big
forth
bus load of folks over there.
for sure.
All right. Well, guys, if you can, check out the Erie Acres, and it's going
Come
to be
on
an
out.
awesome time.
Yeah,
All right. Yeah, you may regret it, but you won't regret it.
Yeah, you
The
know,
spooky side of it.
maybe a little bit.
Yeah, there you go. You got to scare, you scaring a little, scaring folks,
A little
get them
bit.
all excited, get that adrenaline pumping.
Yeah, they usually come back by the next year. They've gotten over that fear a little bit, and they come
There
back.
you go. Awesome. Well, guys, if you're in the area, come check them out.
Definitely.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
This has been
Yes.
awesome. So, like I
Anytime.
said, you're welcome to stick around and talk the crash with us, or if you got to go, I understand that too.
Well, we're having a work
Oh.
day working on props, so because we're going to be at MobiCon coming up next week, so we got to get ready for that.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
good luck with that. That's going to be a blast.
It's going to be fun. We're going to have a lot of our stuff there too. So
All right. Well, like I said, we're going to work up something in October. We'll do this do a live shot at night sometime.
that would be amazing. Let me know. We'll work it out.
I'll figure it out on my end. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye. Y'all have a
Bye.
good evening.
You too.
Well, that was awesome.
That was.
I mean, if we had had enough people, I'd have done the whole show that. But I wanted to focus on the Sunset Limited. We wanted to do a big thing this year because it is the 30th anniversary. But
Wow.
Those of you that know anything about my situation, I've not been able to focus on much here lately, and we've had some strange things going on in our life, which that's normal, I guess. But we haven't been able to focus on the show that much, and I've tried to cram any shows that we've done the past couple of months as quick as I can in the last couple of days, because y'all know I love doing this show, and it will continue. But we wanted to recognize the 30th year anniversary and remember that on September 22nd, 1993, an Amtrak train derailed on the CSX transportation Big Bayou Canot Bridge near Mobile, Alabama. Excuse me. It was caused by a displacement of a span and deformation of the rails when a tow of heavy barges collided with the rail bridges 8 minutes earlier. 47 people were killed and 103 were injured. To date, this was the deadliest train wreck in both Amtrak and Alabama railway history. Immediately prior to the incident, as mentioned, a barge was being pushed by the towboat Mobile. It made a wrong turn onto the Mobile River, off of the Mobile River. It was supposed to continue on up the river, but entered the Big Bayou. And that's an unnavigable channel of water crossed by the CSX transportation railway. The towboat's pilot, Willie Oldham, was not properly trained on how to read his radar, so due to poor visibility and heavy fog and his lack of experience, he did not realize that he was off course. The boat also lacked a compass and a chart of the waters. He believed that he was still on the Mobile River and had identified the bridge in the radar as another tugboat. Now, after the investigation, he was not found to be criminally liable. They called it an actual accident. Now, the bridge was struck by the Mobile at about 2:45 a.m. The span had been designed to rotate so it could be converted into a swing bridge, but it would need to have suitable equipment added to it. But they had never performed that conversion, and so it had been adequately secured against any unintended movement. The collision force of the unsecured end of the bridge span was approximately 3 feet out of alignment. At 2:53 a.m., as mentioned, 8 minutes later, the Sunset Limited, powered by 3 locomotives, en route from Los Angeles, California to Miami, Florida, with 220 passengers and crew aboard, crossed the bridge at around 70 miles per hour and derailed where that rail was kinked. The first of its 3 locomotives slammed into the water, caused the bridge to collapse. The lead locomotive embedded itself nose first into the canal bank, and the other 2 locomotives, together with the baggage car, sleeping car, and 2 of the 6 passenger cars, plunged into the water. The locomotive's fuel tanks, each of which held several thousand gallons of diesel fuel, ruptured upon impact, resulting in a massive fuel spill and a massive fire. 47 people, 42 of whom were passengers, were killed. They died, many of them by drowning, others by fire and smoke inhalation. Another 103 were injured. The towboats, 4 crew members were not injured, and they helped save 17 people after the crash using the same tugboat that had hit the bridge initially. Now, here's a unique thing. Those rails were welded in, and so they didn't break. As a result, the track circuit controlling the bridge block signals, they remained off or intact. And the nearest signal was continually displaying a green or clear aspect. So when the engineer came through, he did not know there was an accident. He did not know that the rail was unpassable. If he had seen it, he would have stopped. It would have given him at least enough time to slow down enough that it wouldn't cause such a disaster. Now, here's some chilling things about this accident. An episode of the National Geographic Channel documentary called Seconds from Disaster, they examined the accident. In addition to corroborating findings of the official accident report, the program revealed that the train had been delayed, get this, in New Orleans by repairs to an air conditioner unit and a toilet. This put them a half hour behind schedule. If not for this delay, the Sunset Limited would have passed over the Big Bayou Canot Bridge 20 minutes before the bridge was hit by the barge. Whoa. I mean, if they had not stopped in New Orleans for repairs, you know, that's just chilling if you stop to think about it. Because if they had been 30 minutes earlier, you know, like what did they say? They came through at 2:43 or 2:53. Mm-hmm. The barge hit the boat at 2:45 a.m. and they came back. They came in at 2:53. What if they had come in at 2:23? Yeah, I mean, just one of those. It's just chilling to think about.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And several years ago, looking into this, I found a YouTube video, and it told another chilling story about this disaster. And I have not been able to find that video since. And Lynn mentioned today, you know, once you put something on the internet, they say it stays there forever. Well, this video I cannot find. I can see the guy sitting there in his recliner, just casually telling the story. It was not fancy edited. He just turned on the camera and said, "Hi, I'm so-and-so, and this is my story," basically. And then he turned the camera off when it was done. No editing, no nothing. He just sat there and told his story. The story he told, and I'm doing this from memory because, like I said, I can't not find the video. I wish I could. So if after I tell the story, if any of you recognize it and you can find the video, please send it to me. I would love to contact this man and get more details. But here's the gist of the story. He was a bus driver. From what I remember, it was in Gulfport, Mississippi. he was on the evening shift, and as such had a direct route that he had to go, different stops that he had to make. Well, it was a slow night, and it was the night of September 21st of 1993. And he picked up a man who said that he needed to get to the Amtrak terminal. And the guy told him, what stop that would be and when he would be getting there. And the man said, I have got to get on that train. If we go the regular route, I'll be too late. I'll miss the train, and I have got to make that train. And the bus driver checked his watch, looked in the mirror, looked at the bus. There was nobody on it. He said it had already been a slow night, and he's like, what the hell? So he changed his route. Say, he could get in trouble for this, but, he knew it was a slow night, so he just did it for the guy and went straight to the Amtrak terminal. He said the guy got there in plenty of time and got on the train, and he went back to driving his route, not thinking anything more about it. Until he gets up the next morning and he sees the news story talking about this disaster and how many people had died. And they had a live feed from the relief effort, and they were interviewing a man who had been one of the last to get on the train, but because of that, he was at the rear of the train and was able to pull off countless individuals and help save many, many lives. And he said that man was the one I got to the terminal, to the depot that night. And he ended his video saying, what if I had not gotten that man to the train? How many lives would have been lost if I had not gotten him to that train? How many would he not have been there to pull out of the wreckage and save their lives? I wish I could find the video. An amazing story. And I hope it's true. But also, during the disaster, emergency services contacted as many local fishermen as they could and got as many boats up in that bayou and to help with the relief effort, to help with the rescue effort. And part of that, locals coming together was my father-in-law, Lynn's dad. And he and friends were up there helping with the rescue effort and helping to save lives. Now, my father-in-law is an avid fisherman and has fished Big Bayou Canot most of his adult life. And he told me personally that one day he was up there fishing and he was out in the middle of the bayou and heard somebody talking. He heard something. He said at first it wasn't clear, but then he said it sounded like they were calling for help. So he edged his boat over to the edge and up to the bridge itself. And he said, I could the whole time I was getting closer to the bridge and closer to the edge of the water, I could hear them. But he said the minute I touched the bridge, it went quiet. And he told me that he has heard from other fishermen that they've heard things in the bayou as well. People crying for help, people calling for help. And the same when they get close to the bridge or under the bridge or by the bridge, it stops. Like while they're out in the middle of the bayou, they hear everything. And then when they get up close, it disappears. So an amazing story. And wouldn't you love to tell you? Excuse me. Lynn says, poor little Michael was never the same after going up there fishing with Dad. I'm not sure who she's talking about, but he has said that. He said that some of his friends won't even talk about it. If he brings it up, they won't talk about it, and some won't even go there anymore fishing. So, as a result of its investigation of this accident, the National Transportation Safety Board made a comprehensive series of recommendations on September 19th, 1994. Following, let's see, okay, it doesn't list the recommendations, but everybody that was involved, they listed that you need to do this and this and this to avoid this disaster. And one of the things they did was they must maintain, Amtrak needs to maintain a record of onboard passenger numbers, and they now do it electronically. So things have changed, and they're doing their best to avoid another disaster like that, because it was one of the greatest train disasters in American history, in Amtrak history, and in Alabama history. So we remember that day. I remember it. This was, like I said, 1993. I was working security at USA Medical Center. It's called University Hospital now. And we've lost Selena again. But anyway, I remember that day. If I remember correctly, I got called in because of the emergency. But I remember ambulances coming one right after the other, buses with the injured. It was a strange day at the hospital. There she is.
I keep getting knocked out. Sorry.
That's okay. We're you were only 2 or 3 years old then, huh?
I was a little bit older, but yeah. But
Do
I
you
remember this
it?
happening. I do. I do remember it.
Anything stand out about that day for you?
No, just it was just a horrible accident, and I remember talking about it with people at school.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it was all over the news for the next several days as they were investigating.
Yeah.
One of the most iconic pictures. Oh, that's the wrong one. It was up here. This is one of the most iconic pictures that made its way around the internet from AL.com. Is that passenger car leaning out over the water? And here was an overhead shot. Yeah, Lynn says that there's a heaviness in the air. It's real depressing to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Five Rivers Delta Resource Center had a tour up there yesterday, but we weren't able to make it. But they were doing the Bayou Canot and the last, the wreckage of the. My mind just went blank again. I do this every show. I think it's something that would be so appropriate. The Clotilde.
Okay.
Now they were going to be going to the wreckage of the Clotilde and the Big Bayou Canot. I was able to make it. Was not able to make that. I wanted to, but I'll have to make the next one. But in a minute, anyway, this Friday, September 22nd, is the 30th year anniversary, and we had. I mean, it's sad to say this after the fact, but we wanted to do kind of a live stream from the bayou, but with everything that's going on in my life, I wasn't able to set that up. So maybe one year we can.
We will.
Hopefully it won't be too long. But just remember this Friday, the 22nd of September, 1993, the Amtrak Sunset Unlimited wrecked in Big Bayou Canot. Well, guys, thank you so much for being here today. We appreciate the input. We appreciate the guys from Erie Acres and Trail of Terror coming on with us and talking about that. And we will see you in 2 weeks for our next edition of Strange Journeys. So we'll see you then. Bye bye. Stay safe on your strange journeys. Bye bye.